Ladies and gentlemen, I love this sport with every fiber of my being, and there come games like this when your own club is playing and you just think to yourself, it's the perfect sweet spot where a win will mean so much if it happens, right? It will mean so much if it happens, and yet you're kind of confident that it will. You know, like, okay, if the Roosters are coming up against, okay, all due respect, this season it's the Dragons, I'm almost a bit nervous because I'm like, okay, yeah, we should win, obviously, but if we win, it's more going to be relief that we've won rather than, you know, this big thing of celebration. A win won't really mean heaps. However, a win against the Broncos in Brisbane today, we're going to have to work for that. And so it's going to mean so much to me if we are able to get it done. Let's get into the teams and see if there have been any changes to the sides. So having a look, no changes in the backs in the way that they are named since Tuesday. No changes in the forwards from the way that they are named since Tuesday. And no changes on the bench from the way that they are named since Tuesday. Big ins for the Broncos, obviously back for a state of origin. Payne Haas, Katoni Staggs, and Reece Walsh. I think, was Walsh in the side? Yeah. The three of them, all back into the side. None of them playing last week because they had to bye, obviously. And weren't named in the Broncos side the week before due to being in Origin camp. Moser also into the team. Is he on the bench? Yes, he is in jersey number 14. Adam Reynolds, however, comes out. Ezra Mann comes out. Philip Coates comes out. And Antonio Verhoeven comes out. No Patrick Carrigan. Their injury list is biblical. Absolutely biblical. The Roosters get back Hugo Savala in the centres. Shifts Billy Smith out onto the wing. And Tommy Talau onto the interchange bench. It's hype. It's hype. That is not the way that I thought that was going to look. There we go. I'm still coming to terms with the animations. This will be the first time the Broncos, by the way, have got to go at the new animation. So that's kind of quietly exciting for me. In the meantime, while we wait for this game, let's do a quick 27-0. This won't be the one, because remember yesterday we had like maybe the greatest team ever, and it was off the back of me saying absolutely not. This won't be the one. So we'll go with that approach. No Reynolds, no ma'am. Yes, Teddy. Yes, Roosters win. 2 tries from Mark today. I hope you're right, Teddy. Terry, not Teddy. I hope you're right. I would agree with you. I reckon 2 tries from Mark is a great prediction. But there's a lot of work to do to get a win up in Brisbane. No matter how poorly they're going. Oh, let's go, JRO. Hell yeah. No matter how poorly they're going, it's the Broncos at Suncorp. It's the Broncos at Suncorp. South 2018, that will be a Craig Inglis. Still haven't ever got 27-0 in this, but this is a solid start. Manly 09. Yes, that's going to be Menzies. Yeah? Menzies was still playing in it. Was he? No, he wasn't. That's a year after. Damn. That's annoying. Okay, I'll pick Jared in the front row. Happy with that. 169k, they are packing up. They'll finish when they get 170. I thought that they would go until the end of this game. Interesting. But what an effort from the bye-round boys. Like, that's an incredible initiative. A really incredible initiative. And the way that they've done it as well, to get so many different guests on, they did great. I know Raging Rory, brilliant New Zealand Warriors fan and creator, did a 24-hour stream once herself. And it has inspired me to maybe give it a go one day. But obviously, it's a very different prospect for me to do a 24-hour stream than it is for the buy-round 2. They had a rotating cast. I'm just me. But, yeah. Worst year of your life? That's a banger of a question. It's very easy for me to answer, though. I had a really terrible year from midway through 2020 to midway through 2021. That was a 12-month period. I'd say it was that. If we want to just say one of them, I'm saying 2021, but really it was just the first half of it. It was good to stay up to watch. Yeah, it was great. I stayed up quite a bit and watched them do it. They smashed it with the content ideas as well. Got so many cool creators on board. They did really, really good. Really, really good. And I doubt it will be the last time that something like that happens. I really do. All right, we've got 5 minutes till kickoff, so this will be the one and only 27-0 side we do before we get into kickoff. I've already used my reroll. It's probably... I don't want to use Campisi at 5/8. I'm not very happy with most of these options. Probably going to pick Tongue at lock. It kind of has to be. I'd rather not use up the lock position, but it's kind of the only one. Oh, and Raiders again in that era. Are you serious? Okay, I've been curious. Yeah, I've been curious as to how good Blake Ferguson is in this. 84? That's probably fair, actually. That's probably fair. Cowboys 2021. Well, unfortunately, because I had to pick Alan Tongue, I can't now pick Tamalolo. Oh, no. It's not gone well. It's really not gone well. I don't want to pick Hammer at fullback. Yikes. I'm picking, where was he? Cotter. And at hooker. I don't want to. Dragons 2025. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is an all-time stinker now. This is an absolute all-time rugby league stinker. Oh, Jaden Seward, no. This is terrible. It started great. It really did start great. Are Netherlands out of the Soccer World Cup yet? Absolutely not. No, we're going to be going a while. I think, where do we play in the knockouts? I can't remember, but I remember thinking that's very beatable. It's very beatable. Oh my god, okay. That's maybe the worst 27-0 team I've ever sincerely put together. That's dreadful. How have they done that well? That's absurd. This side is terrible. We made a prelim with that team. Bruh, game's broken. Game's broken. Forget it. Forget it. We would have been lucky to win a game there in real life. Damn. AJ and Cheese and that random guy opening cards was fun to watch. Who was that guy again? I don't know. I wasn't watching at that point. Tom Yeager, maybe? He was on around that time. I was really surprised to see AJ and Cheese just pop up there. I was like, hey, I was just watching you playing a match. That was sick. Morocco. Yes, Morocco, yeah. A very good team, but I think beatable. I would expect the Netherlands to beat them. All right. Are the nerves setting in a little bit per chance for myself? Yes, they are. Absolutely, they are. But it's all right. We locked in, we focus. We'll get there. I always get worried watching the Roosters play, but I'm excited about today. I'm rarely sort of excited about a game in the way I am excited about the game today. I've got high expectations, but we'll see what we can come up with. Thoughts on Cleary to hooker and Isaiah Katoa to halfback. I love that it started a beef between the Mole and NRL Soapbox. Soapy is really got conviction about what he says, and I don't agree with everything he says. But I massively respect him. And I've said this before. We have some really interesting conversations, the two of us, about the game and the way that we see the game, which is great, and the way that we see the game's media in particular. And I don't feel that Mole is very liked. I think he played victim quite a bit in the situation. I like the way Soapy went about it, really. I don't like the idea of Cleary to hooker. Just because it worked with Andrew Johns, I don't think it would necessarily work with Nathan Cleary. But anyway, here we go. The Roosters all bunched together there. Tedesco's talking to the boys. He's getting them G'd up. Hell yes. Hell yes. It is hype. Famui Sal, thank you for following over on Twitch. Much appreciated. Lots of unity in that Roosters dressing room. Broncos, body language maybe not quite as good, but, you know, it's not the be-all and end-all. It's my birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday for tomorrow. I will be streaming tomorrow, so if you pop along, I will say happy birthday, you know, officially. But happy birthday for tomorrow. What's the Soapy drama? Oh, it's nothing big. Nothing big. It's just, yeah. He criticized the Mole's opinion. And Mole wasn't a fan of that. So... is it just me, or has Beanie for Rain Cancer Round really not been as big a thing this year? I'd be curious to know how much they raised in comparison to years gone by. It could well be that I've basically been glued to this desk doing editing and haven't been consuming rugby league media, but I just kind of get the sense. Oh, drizzly. That's not good for us. That's really not good for us. We want a dry track. Thoughts on Tolty playing for England? Is he? Is he? I know Brayley is thinking of doing it. Maybe he's already confirmed that. I'm not actually completely across that. But, yeah, that... I don't know completely how I feel about it, because is he an Englishman? I guess? Well, something's wrong with the camera that they're using. Anyway, struggling at the bottom of the screen. Here come the Roosters. Cleary to hooker is the Lancaster move. It is, and I still don't agree with it. Yeah, look, if it makes England better, sure, we can go with it. And England Rugby Union, you know, they do that. Ben Teo played for England Rugby Union. So, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I would prefer to see an England side filled with domestic England players, because we can actually do that, unlike Tonga and Samoa. Rather than it be Brimson, Radley, Brayley, Tolty, Sam Walker, you know, these guys. Our worst nightmare is the rain. It's not great, no. Apparently it's just been drizzly, so it doesn't look too bad, but hopefully it stays just drizzly, because we need a fast track if we want to play at our best, from a Roosters perspective. On the poll, I mean, I'm going to assume that this is personal vendetta against me, but 52, in fact, it's now 50-50. People think Brisbane Broncos are going to win this game over Eastern Suburbs District Rugby League Football Club, and that is an opinion I can only describe as being incorrect, so... The only reason Walker was born in England was because his father played Super League. I don't count that. I guess, bro, but with all due respect, it doesn't matter whether you count it or not. He was born in England. So, Nathan Cleary, was Nathan Cleary born in New Zealand? I have a vague memory that might be true. Anyway, there's the kickoff. If you want to sync up with me, we are underway. There's a better crowd out there. Good. Lindsay Collins, who had a brilliant game last week with the first run of the game, and that's a win for the Broncos early on. We're coming out of our 10-meter area already to start this game. Now, Fahu White with a solid run there in the all-white jersey. I love this look for the Roosters this season. This has to be an easy win for the Roosters. If not, I'll be somewhat happy. I don't think it'll be an easy win for the Roosters. I mean, look, you're, I believe, a Broncos fan. I can understand the pessimism about your own side, but I think it'll be a tightly fought game. Well, at least a hard-fought game, but I do expect the Roosters to win. So, all right. So, Butcher plays the ball here on the 35-meter mark. Walker will kick early there on the 4th. So, he's going to turn around the Broncos' defensive line early there. But I'd say that was a defensive win for the Brisbane Broncos on that set as Cradley slips and slides to the surface, digging up a little bit there. Alrighty, so it's going to be Duffy and a dummy half. We've had a minute gone in this game so far. Thank you, Mark, for subscribing over on YouTube. Much appreciated. What are we looking at? Broncos plays boot. Alright, anyway. Pakes in a dummy half here on the 4th. They're near the halfway line. They get it to Payne Haas. I'm just savouring the moments where he's not in Cardinal and Myrtle. Anyway, on the last, they're going to run it here through Walsh. Retreating defensive line. Gets it out to his winger, straight over the sideline. Not a terrible result for the Roosters. Probably we're going to get the ball back where we would have anyway. Sade, following on Twitch as well. We're having a bit going on at the moment. A bit going on. Says, can't wait to win this one. I hope you are correct. I really hope you are correct, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Yeah, so that, you know, I'll take that result. You know, not bad from Brisbane to run it there on the last. Walsh obviously can come up with something, but we read it well defensively. Had a 2-on-2 and got the job done. Walker now to find Tedesco. Tries to step inside Staggs. Can't get away from his New South Wales origin teammate. So on the 3rd now, Walker will put Radley underneath, up to the halfway line. It's good from the Roosters, better than the opening set of the game. Broncos season over anyways, in my opinion. Yeah, I would agree with that. They're very close to the mathematical point where they can mathematically still make the 8, but doesn't look like they'll do much of consequence this season regardless. Walker puts an eye up in the air. Tedesco was underneath it. Tedesco might have scored. If he hasn't knocked it on into Reece Walsh, he's certainly claiming it. Oh, captain, my captain. It's going to go up as a no try. It's going to go up as a no try. He's certainly claiming it. I would struggle to think he didn't knock on into Walsh, but he certainly doesn't think he did. Unless he's a fibber. Let's see. Okay, so we're rolling Brisbane knock on first. So at least Roosters will probably get the ball back. Let's see here. It's forward off Walsh first. The post very much gets in the way there. We probably need a different angle. I think it's off Walsh first there into Tedesco. We've got a lot left to look at here, but is this red, white, and blue tinted glasses? I don't know. But I don't necessarily see a knockoff from Tedesco into Walsh after that. They might rule that because that's the way it went upstairs, and I would be able to live with that decision. But I don't know. I don't think so. I gotta say, that angle looks good for the Roosters. Walsh now falls away. They're going to go based on the live decision. Okay. I personally wouldn't rule it that way, but I can absolutely live with that decision and can understand why they made it. It's not Broncos' ball. It's going to be Roosters' ball. Is there no one streaming the game? All useless? I don't know if useless is pretty fair, given that you're expecting your content creators to commit actual crimes on live streams because you can't be bothered to pay to watch your sports. But is what it is. Bit brutal. Maybe when you click on a stream that says Watchalong, you might think, oh, it's going to be a Watchalong. Anyway. So it's Roosters' ball. We're going to feed the scrum here. Set to go the left-hand side. Through from Daly Cherry Evans. Now on to find Walker. Teddy does well to hold that ball. They jammed in on him. Katoni stays again, giving Tedesco some trouble early. But here come the Roosters. Walker finds that butcher underneath. This game is literally free to air. This is free to air as well. That's even funnier. Bro. Use a VPN. Watch it on 9 now. Anyway. Robson. Back to find Walker. Pass over the top. Billy Smith just has to stay in field there. Yeah, can't do it. It was a poor pass from Walker. They read that. Good defense from Brisbane. Good defense. And a chance goes begging. I thought we might score there anyway. That's why a part of me wasn't too annoyed with the no try call. But unfortunately, Walker, yeah, that was very easily telegraphed to Billy Smith. And Buddy says, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, buddy. Happy birthday. How old have you turned? Oh, man, I want a YouTuber to commit a crime because I don't want to pay for KO. I have KO Lamel. That's good for you. That's very good for you. All right. So they've said that the rain is scheduled to come back. Not ideal. We're off a short turnaround, by the way. 5-day turnaround. They're off a bye. So I would expect that the opening part of the game is important for the Roosters to take the lead, because the Broncos will probably be the more fresh side come the back end. You turned 12. Well, happy birthday. I hope you had a really, really good day. And I'm very flattered that you're spending the end of your day watching this stream that I'm doing. That's much appreciated. All right, kick from inside their own half, the Broncos, just slightly their side of the halfway line. Teddy with a solid catch there, tackled by Ricky. This is an anniversary of the League's first men's Roosters stream. Yes, and it was only very shortly after that I was revealed as a Roosters fan. Was that just last year? It was, wasn't it? Has it been under a year that I've been outwardly a Roosters supporter? That's crazy if so. My entire content journey, though, and there's been so much in it, and it's gone so quickly. Radley back to find Tedesco. That's the fourth. He does get an offload away in the end to find Siwa Wong, who goes himself there. So, we'll kick from about the 30 here. Good set from the Roosters. I'm happy with that. Cherry Evans puts it up in the air. We're trying to find the wing of Mark Nwangani-Tawase. Toya instead will go up for it. He gets it. Back off the Broncos. Just hold it. This should be 6 more Roosters. It is 6 more Roosters. Let's go. No, we've got a chance here. Savala out to 5. Billy Smith for the corner. Roosters are in. Take that one off us. You won't do it. You won't do it. Grant Atkins awards it. Try time to the Sydney Roosters. Come on. Love it. Sorry, I've just absolutely destroyed the microphone there. Absolutely. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Damn. Hell yeah. I hope that we don't get maybe a review of that. Well, we will get a review of that little skirmish there. I hope it doesn't show a Roosters knock on somewhere. But what a ball from Hugo Savala there. What a ball from Hugo Savala. Look at that. I was just saying hold it. I was just saying hold it. But Hugo Savala wasn't having any of it. There was a chance for a try. Billy Smith. Bang. Try time. You should play Rooster Man after a try. I don't want people clicking off the live stream. And that will certainly make them do that. What is the Blues lineup? Has not been announced yet. And really... your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. Leaguie came out as a Roosters fan last year, and then 1 year later, Keen Evans came out. Do you see a relation? Absolutely not. Bet sure. We'll go with it. Leaguie, can the margin be more than 32 points Roosters' way? Can is the key word there. It certainly can. I wouldn't be tipping that, for sure. I'm tipping a Roosters win, but... I'd take a win. I said this during the last game. I'd take a win by a point today. I just want us to get a win. Did you watch the World Cup and the Rugby Union Grand Final? I watched the World Cup, the Australia-Paraguay game. Is Smith claiming potentially high contact after the grounding? We're getting reviews of that. But Rugby Union Final, no. No. It was quite a big result, wasn't it, from memory? I wonder if they're going to look at an 8-point try. It looks like they might. Tries confirmed. Okay, it's just going to be a normal try. Score prediction? I'll go with... I like predicting 26 to 18. I won't predict that. I'll go 26 to 12. In fact, you said that to me. I'd also say Roosters by 22 to 18. Yeah, so similar kind of area. It won't be an 8-point try. And Walker needs to kick it to make it a 6-point try. Hits it. And after absolutely shooting the lights on in the last game for the Roosters, he gets that one. 6-0 early on here for the Sydney Roosters. And given the way the first few sets panned out there, I'm really happy with that result for us. We were under the pump early on. Brisbane came out with a heap of intent. I'm really, really happy that after 7.5 minutes are gone, despite what my clock says... it is 7.5 minutes gone. We're on top. We're on top. Did Leaguie swear says, I think the Union final was 60 to 5 Hurricanes. Damn. Was that an expected out? I mean, obviously, it's never going to be expected that it's 60 to 5, but was that foreseeable? Oh, no. Poor miscommunication there between Lindsay Collins and Billy Smith. Damn, and it's going to be a dropout. Going to be a dropout. Let's see, Billy Smith, he pulled out of that one very, very late there. Look backwards, and yeah, Lindsay Collins is really annoyed at his winger there for not calling that one. Giving a little bit of a verbal bath to Billy Smith. So Roosters now having to defend. All right, Preston Ricky there with a run up to the 30. Forced backwards, though, well by Radley and Nafahu White. This is the first, though, 35 out. Run there from Willison. That's poor. It is poor, but moments like that will happen. It was a moment of poor communication from Billy Smith. Not the end of the world. You think Panthers will bounce back by a convincing win? They're up in Townsville, right, this week? Yes, I definitely think that they will. They're going to be a completely different team to the one that played the Titans. Yeah, they are up in Townsville tomorrow, which I will be streaming. So, Nicole getting behind the Chooks today. That is a cause that I can absolutely support. All right, one more to go here. They are well within striking range here, the Brisbane Broncos. 5 meters out. They get it to Ben Hunt. Back for Reece Walsh. We'll put a grubber in behind. Have the Roosters recovered? I think they have through James Tedesco there. It's going to be a penalty to the Brisbane Broncos. Carity, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Unfortunately, penalty Broncos. Oh. Why's my animation not playing? There we go. Chookie's easy game. I don't agree. Do not agree. Leaguie, I missed your early stream as I was still on the Gyaro stream. I apologize if any of my comments reflected badly. Hang on. No, not at all. Well, I don't know everything you said, but anything that I saw, I don't think you said anything controversial. So I was really only in and out of those streams. So it was, yeah. Buddy says, my brother is Casey McLean. That's so cool. That's so cool. So brother is also Jesse McLean then. Are you Jesse McLean? I'm going to assume you're not. But you must be very proud of what your brother's able to achieve, buddy. That's very cool. Harris says, I'm watching this stream as Brisbanean because I can't deal with the bloody Broncos fans on the screen. Hatred caused by last year's qualifying final versus Raiders. Let's go, Chooks. I'm glad. And I want to say to you, Harabes, specifically, I do apologize for a misunderstanding in the comments on my last video. You mentioned the YouTube guy, saying that you wouldn't be surprised if the YouTube guy was behind the AI Facebook slot posts. And I thought you meant me. I thought you were saying that I was doing these posts and then making a video about them. And I was like, what the hell, dude? Come on. But my bad. Complete misunderstanding. I do apologize if I came across a little bit harsh with what I said to you. I was just, a bit confused. Anyway, it's penalty for high contact. Lindsay Collins is on report. Willison is off the field. Broncos with a full attacking set here. On the left-hand side, Pakes now to find Hunt underneath for the back rower there of Brendan Piakura. Oh, jeez, they nearly scored there. Preston Ricky about a metre short. What defence from James Tedesco. What defence. Pakes out a dummy half. Spins. I reckon he's got there. Has he? No, we're going to review this. Going up as no try. I mean, Charlie called me out directly for some stupid comments I made about the AI that came across as sincere. Can you elaborate? I'm curious as to what it was you said. And about the AI. Oh, the AI thumbnail. Jeez, yeah, his own arm has stopped him from scoring there. Damn. Damn. Has he got it on the second goal? I don't think he has. Chooks to win first this year. I don't think we'll get first on the ladder, but we might be into the grand final. That's my tip. Jeez, he got so close, and then Tedesco comes across. Tough. Very tough. As right now, what place will Roosters be in the ladder at the end of the season? I think third or fourth. I don't know if we're catching Waz. Waz would need to slip off a little bit. Even then, I think Dolphins are maybe slightly better placed than us. We do yet play the Dolphins, though. So that could be a win to get second place. But we'll see. Well, short ball for Piakura. Tackled there by Cherry Evans and Wong. And that's it. That's it. Survived the defensive test there, the Roosters. But tough set to truck it out of our own end now. Oh, yeah, buddy, I have given you a couple of shout-outs. I'm not sure if you are Jesse McLean because you spelt the name incorrectly. But anyway, I appreciate you being here. I do appreciate you being here. And that's true. Jesse McLean is also not 12 years old. So, yeah, anyway. The only thing that holds the Roosters back is poor discipline. They go for high tackles a lot in defense as well as dangerous tackles because they get careless. Sure, I think certainly we do, and it frustrates me as a fan. However, the premierships that we've won under Trent Robinson, 13, 18, and 19, I'm pretty sure in all three of those years we were the most penalised team. Certainly in 2013 we were. But we have a defensive principle that defends those things. And it's not ideally what you want, but it has led to success before. Penalty there. This could be more than that. This could be more. It was forceful from that. Was it from Sam Walker? I thought it was from that Butcher. Let's see here. It was on Walsh. Yeah, there's not much of a running motion, the wrapping motion, sorry, there from Walker. I think if that had made any substantial contact, that could have been a lot more. Yeah, I said a few times, 115k and can't afford a graphic designer in reference to the AI, but it wasn't meant as legitimate criticism. After he called me out, I made a small donation to apologize. Okay, that's all right. That's all good. Yeah, I mean, I think you're entitled to that opinion. I think I said to you before, would it be nice? I would have made the thumbnails for them themselves if they'd wanted. Sorry, myself, if they'd wanted. But, yeah, anyway. Is what it is. It's why, like, so a lot of these NRL content creators, podcasters specifically, as Broncos get 6 again here, momentum is well and truly turned in this game. They're not YouTubers. And it's going to be a penalty now. Is that more high contact? This could be a sin bin soon. This could really be a sin bin soon. This was from Nat Butcher, yeah, and it was high contact. It was. Yeah, they're not YouTubers, and they're podcasters that upload their podcasts to YouTube, and obviously a thumbnail is such a specific YouTube thing. I can understand why they don't want to put too much effort into the thumbnail, but Bloke in a Bar have started doing that lately, and I think it's really transformed their content, so I'd be going that way for sure. All right, anyway. Pakes. Now to find Duffy. Hunts to find Reece Walsh. Fends away from Sammy Walker. Is tackled there. This is only the second. Broncos looking good here. They are looking good. All right, Hunt. Now to find Duffy. They've got numbers there. Ball comes free. It's been recovered by Cherry Evans. Now Mark. And it's going to be a Roosters knock on. Jeez, I thought Mark was away. The reason Souths are a top 8 and possibly top 6 team this season is because they were able to clean up the act and get less and less high tackles every game, but they still have to work on rucks. They also have weak center attack in most games. Yeah, I think they'll be lucky to get top 8 here. Jeez, I'll tell you what, we're going to challenge just the Roosters. And if we win this challenge, I'll be happy that we've won the challenge. Don't get me wrong. But after the Tedesco no try earlier, Mark was away. Mark was absolutely away. It'd be another unlucky moment from us, if so. Yeah, that's off the arm of Piakura. It's off Piakura. It's a knock on. And we get it cleanly. I've got to be honest, because Mark's away here. Mark's gone. I've got to be honest, that was a really poor call. There weren't any Roosters arms around that. You stomach it, it happens. All good, and I'm glad that we won the challenge, but that's really poor. How is it a knock on when it's above the elbow? Oh, you can still knock on without doing it with your hands. You're pushing the ball forward. As far as I understand the rule. I think it's sort of torso area, to my knowledge. Anyway. Yeah. Maybe it's not torso area, actually. No, it can't be torso area. I don't know. That's a really good question. But anyway. Can you make a rugby union or AFL account? Nah, bro. I'm all in on rugby league. I'm not a union or AFL guy. On the 4th. So, I really like the Roosters to get the next try in this game because I feel that we deserve it. Walker with a kick up over the top. Billy Smith will catch it. Gets an offload back and Hunt dives on that ball. Good work from the veteran number 7 there. I saw the AFL in the other stream earlier. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Yeah. A little bit tough. I'm going to be honest. It's a little bit tough to stomach that call. But anyway, yeah. As I say, it is what it is. I certainly hope we can get the next try in this game. But anyway. Even Stevie Wonder could see that wasn't a Roosters knock-on. The bad calls will happen. But I'm surprised how that was ruled a Roosters knock-on to start with. We didn't have any arms around it at all. Ultimate Monkey says, I reckon Roosters win. So do I. But, you know. Got a lot of work to do to make that happen. Back from Billy Smith to find Tedesco. Now across to Mark Nwangani-Tawase. Stutters before hitting the line, as he always does. Literally always does. Wait, Chico, you're the AFLE? That's cool. 6 more here for the Roosters. Offload back and field to Tedesco. And it's forward. Jeez. Broncos ball. Damn. That's another opportunity. Kind of wasted. It was forward. Definitely the right call. But we just got 6 again there. We had just got 6 again. Yeah, Toyer outside him as well, Tedesco. Damn. All right. Tricky. If we concede the next try and it's 6-all, we're going to be thinking, how the hell has this happened? But anyway, I like the way that we've played. I do like the way we've played. The rain wouldn't be working in our favor, certainly. Although Broncos are, a free-flowing attacking side as well, so I guess it goes both ways. Pakes now. On to find Ben Tolty. Bold prediction, the Roosters will score at least 6 points. I don't see that happening, to be honest. But anyway, you're entitled to your opinions. Run from Jordan Ricky. Straight at Sammy Walker. Does well to chop the back rower down. All right. Sorry, I've read Buddy's comment. That's all good, bro. Sure, we'll go with that. Pio Cora not happy with some contact that was done on him by Daly Cherry Evans. Let's see. I was forced backward a bit, and then Wong came over the top. I think that's all right. Yeah, and it's ruled to be okay. On the fourth here. Walsh with it. Short ball, Ricky. Good work from Hugo Savala there. So one more to go here in the set. They are a matter of meters out of the Roosters line. Hunt gets it, puts a kick up to try and find the wing there. Oh, it was Mark who knocked it on. Damn it. Damn it. Okay. Yeah. More defense for the Roosters to do here. We're making errors that are costing us. Mark should have got that. Mark definitely should have got that. Yeah, there was a little bit of contact from Anderson, but honestly, nothing that I think would have impacted it too much. Steve is a Roosters fan. Love that for you, sir. Let's go. Up the Chookies. Hey, Leaguie, can you name 5 teams that are a threat to the Roosters? Certainly. Penrith, Warriors, Dolphins, Storm, Manly, I think. I'd be more confident playing Newcastle than playing Manly. To be honest, there's quite a lot more still at this point in the season, and I think that's a great thing about our competition. Oh, they've got numbers. They didn't find them. Oh, they did eventually. Brilliant offload, and Tom Duffy has scored for the Broncos. Look, eventually you give away that much attacking ball to the Broncos, you will crack it. It is 6 points to 4. Frankly, that was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. We gave them way, way too much ball. And yes, there's been a couple of calls that could have gone a different way, but we've certainly cost ourselves with our own errors, and that's they've been all very objective. So that was bound to happen eventually. Oh, that. Yeah, the ball from Ben Hunt, I think it was all right. Tom Duffy over Ezra Mann. I mean, he's got to try there. Is it his first for the Broncos? I'm not sure. It is. It's his first NRL try, even. Do you know who Luke Dawn is? It's my teacher's brother and a Roosters player in Tigers. Search him up. I do not know who Luke Dawn is, but I'll take your word for it. Can you send me the link to this game? It's available free to wear on 9 Now. If you're in Australia, search up 9 Now and you'll be able to see it. Was the ball from Hunt okay? Tries confirmed. Obviously, we can't review forward passes, but it was a little flat. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think that's unlucky for the Roosters, but all right. All right. Cody Walker's better than Ezra Mam anytime, let's be honest. I don't think many people would say that Mam's better than Cody Walker. Yeah, all right. So George Dragons fan says no. No to is it forward? Kick from Tom Duffy. Gets it. 6 points apiece. I tell you what. Well, we'll call my dad at halftime. I think he's going to have a bit to say about that forward pass. But anyway. At first I thought it was forward, but it looked fine on replay. Let me see it again here. Oh, I definitely think that's forward. I've got to be honest. I definitely think that that's forward. But anyway. I think that last replay showed it quite clearly. Would you be happy with a Penrith Panthers versus Warriors grand final? Yeah, I would be. Look, I'd be very disappointed from a Roosters perspective. Hang on, Duffy kicked the goal, right? I'm not tripping. He kicked the goal. They've still got it as 4 points to 6 on the Fox scoreboard. He did kick the goal, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, he did. Okay. Can you stream the game? I'm in Hawaii and trying to watch. I cannot do that, Spencer. I would be committing a crime. However, if you use a VPN, you can watch it on 9 Now. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, as I said, we'll call my dad at halftime. He's going to have a lot to say about that pass, I reckon. A lot to say. Rivalry round IMO, Roosters South, Storm Manly, Penrith Para, Finns Titans, Broncos Cowboys, Tigers Dogs, Sharks Dragons, and Wars Raiders. Here's why that won't happen. They have it in the UK and it goes quite hard.
Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing.
C_Phantom just redeemed, change the background color. Aussie 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 oi oi oi. Give US green square emoji and yellow square emoji leg pookie.
Alrighty, we'll do. We'll go green at the top. Somehow we always end up doing Rabbitohs colours. And we'll go yellow at the back. That's kind of... It doesn't really work very well. But anyway. Knock on Roosters. Jesus Christ. No. Yeah, rivalry round. Why it won't happen. While it's tempting as hell to have everything concentrated in one round, and it's just like the coolest round ever, the NRL and the broadcasters specifically want to be able to have that across multiple rounds, have those doses. In a round where there's Roosters South, they want to be able to do all their promos about Roosters South. In a round where there's Broncos Cowboys, you want that to be the case as well. Broncos Dolphins, you want that to be the case as well. So that's what they'll do. It allows them to have their cake and eat it, where they can have the rivalries but have them spread out. Whereas if it was all in one round, I think they'd sort of distract from one another. Willison is out, having failed his HIA. Geez, very important set here to defend for the Roosters. Broncos have been looking good, and poor error from Mark. That's so disappointing. So disappointing. Got to make sure we don't go behind here. Hunt now on to the winger there of Karapani. Tackled by Tedesco and Cherry Evans there. But that looked good. All right, on the third, they are within 10 meters. Duffy gets it to Walsh. Back to find Preston Ricky now. Takes a tackle there. Who do you think's the best enforcer in the comp? There's a few options. They're going to score here. Oh, no. That's annoying. That's really annoying. As I said in the last try, the errors were costing us, and that's the most direct example you can have of it. Error from Nwangani Tuase coming out of our own end, and immediately they go down there and score. Damn, that's tricky. Yeah, ricocheted off Cherry Evans, and it made it a bit more tricky there for Rob Toyer. These are teams outside the 8. Who do you see, Mejia? Cowboys, Dogs, Storm, and Bronx. Definitely Storm. Dogs are a solid chance now after they've got a couple wins in a row. Cowboys, possibly. I think Cowboys are third most likely, and then Broncos least likely of those. Oof. That's really poor from us. That's really poor from us. I'm not happy at all. That's a try. I can't dispute whatsoever. Joe says, I want to watch. Yep, I'm not going to show the game. That's illegal. What do you think Knights will be at the end of the season? Will they make it to the grand final? No, I wouldn't tip them to do that. I'd be very impressed if they do. I don't think that will happen. But they'll make the top 8. They'll make the top 8. I think they'll be sitting in the bottom half of the top 8. For the first time in 2026, your team is losing to my team. There we go. Well, yeah, obviously we got the win at Allianz earlier in the season. It was close. I'm still quite, to be honest, confident of a win. But, yeah, that's really... I'm very frustrated. I'm very frustrated. What is your 9th favorite team? I don't know, Brev. I don't know. No idea. I think Storm nab out the Sharks, but I'm keeping Bunnies in 7th, especially if Knights lose to the Tigers, and then Bunnies in round 19. Duffy kicks that as well. I think there's a very good possibility Souths don't make the 8. Maybe it's what I want to believe, but they've had all 3 buys. Oh, Dankin is shouting out James Graham. Let's go. 160,000 is incredible. I want to give a real shout out there. Because, yeah, the NRL have, you know, obviously their birthday celebration thing that they've got planned. And I don't know exactly what's going to be involved with that. But, like, wow. That's incredible. That's huge. That's huge. All right, anyway. Preston Ricky forced backwards there. Look at that. Last 10 minutes completion rate, 25%. That's so poor from us. So poor. All right. Over the next 16 minutes until the end of the half, I'd like Roosters to win it 6-0. That's really my my standard. Let's go in at 12-all and reset. Score for Broncos Roosters. Right there. Right underneath me. Hunt with a little half opportunity there. Tackled by Radley on the 4th there. Go back towards the left-hand side through Walsh. Now through Ricky. Tackled by Savala well there. That's a good result there for the Roosters. This will be the last. They'll kick from just inside the 40. That's just on the 40. He puts it down towards Nwangani Tawase there. Who soccers it and returns it into the line. About 25 out for the Roosters try line. The Broncos have lost to 3 of the bottom 4 teams this year and could beat the Chooks. Yeah. Oh, I mean, that you can come up with a few different examples with that. But anyway. Souths have a lot of tough matches. They literally have Panthers, Knights, then... Oh, Spencer Leniu, half chance. The ball finds the ground. Just dive on it. Yeah, good stuff. Pass did not hold. Yeah, Souths have a lot of tough matches. They have Panthers, Knights, then Milkies, Storm, Sharks, Eels, Dogs, Wires, Titans, and obviously Roosters. So they have a lot of tough matches. 3 wins, 1. A couple of games there that I think I'd definitely tip them to win, but not a heap. Penalty Roosters. We kind of needed that, I feel. High contact. Should have sent him off, but anyway. Yeah, Leniu did well there, but the pass was just, yeah, it was poor. Did well to recover the ball in the end. Good touch finder. Very good touch finder. Let's see what Spencer can do. Obviously, in the headlines this week, heavily rumored to be leaving the club at the end of the year. There's a second ball out on the field, by the way, but anyway. The first penalty after 25 minutes. Nice. Nice. All right. We've only had 4 tackles in the opposition 20. That's crazy. Tedesco, short ball, Leniu. Go, son. Come on. I'd love a try here. God, I'd love a try here. I'd celebrate it massively. Radley. Cherry Evans. Now for Siwa Wong. Fends away from a couple there. Still going here is Siwa Wong. Stands in the tackle. For a half moment there, I thought he might get an offload away. But anyway. Walker. Holds the ball. Back underneath to find Tedesco. Around the middle of the field. Gets away from a number of them. Puts kicking behind. Toya's chasing. Robert Toya, baby! Robert Toya. Hell yes. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. Back on the board. The Queensland Centre gets one for the Roosters. Let's go! Yes! Come on! God, we needed that. We really did need that. Brilliant ice up footy from James Tedesco. Robbie Toya chasing through. Bang. Come on. Yes. Hell yeah. Look, I think we've cost ourselves in a number of ways throughout this half, but there's been a little bit of adversity that's come our way. Tried a few things that haven't worked. Got a bit unlucky in a couple moments. For us to now be leveling it up with 12 minutes left. Hell yeah. I said all I wanted from the last 16 minutes was a try and to not concede anymore. Well, we've got the try. Let's see what we can do for the next 12 and a half. Let's go. Spencer is extremely square. He could have played Steve in the Minecraft movie. That might be my favorite thing you've ever said. And I really love the things that you say. So that's brilliant. Sam Walker clone, such a Sam Walker play. It was. Yeah, that's Sam Walker to Robert Toya in Origin 1. That's exactly what that was. But Teddy, look how many Brisbane Broncos players he beat here. Fends away for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then, yeah, puts a kick in behind to find the gap. That's brilliant. And I want to give credit to Robert Toya here for holding his line, holding himself, because to be onside there, you got to time the run beautifully. He knew when Teddy was going to put it through. Brilliant work. It's not a gimme, actually. Just I thought this was scored a little bit closer to the post. Walker should get it, though. Yeah, beautiful. Bang. Broncos have to verse Sharks, Panthers, and basically every other team in the 8. Yeah, I mean, I did say they're the least likely out of those sides. And already, like, if they lose this, I think they can only lose one more game to make the 8, so. So can I ask, did Leaguie swear? Not that I want to question the GOAT in any capacity, any way, shape, or form. However, what's the reasoning behind the love of Jaden Barrell? Just wondering. Because obviously I'm on board with you. I'm on board. But I'm curious as to why you'd be like, Jaden Bell, that's my favorite player. Especially when I believe, as you said, you're a Broncos fan. So obviously, he plays for the Sharks. So, yes, Kiralee, you've asked this a number of times. My bad. I should have answered it before. I kept getting sidetracked. Tanner Boyd or Tomato Martin, who should start next year for the Wires? Tanner Boyd. The thing is, though, thank you, Tom, for following on Twitch. Thing is, I would have said the exact same thing about Metcalf last year. It's incredible the similarities between those two. Warriors halfback, in Dally M form. Is Boyd expected to be back for round 1? Because that will be a big thing. A very big thing. But I'd be going Tamar Boyd for sure. Chickawee. Come on. I know that you've followed before. Kick up in the air there. It'll be a catch from Josiah Karapani. Gets it done. And gets away from a couple of tacklers there. He's done well to get it up to the 10. For a moment, I thought we might catch him in the in-goal. Very good run there from the winger. Walsh, on to find now Arthurs, who, fun fact, is Catalan Dragons bound. Love that. Love that. All right. Yeah, happy with this scoreline at the moment. Very happy with this scoreline. Hello, Money God. How you going? Good to see you here. So this is a tackle there on Ricky. This will be the 4th. They are about 35 out from their try line. Walsh will put a kick in from inside the 40. It's angled very nicely. It's not quite going to get to the sideline, though. Tedesco covers that one. Does well, but what a kick from Reece Walsh. It came up with a result anyway, because the Roosters are trapped sort of 10 meters out from their line here. Mark with a run now. Not really the most impactful there from the winger, but anyway. I will say, like, it's an area in which we do miss Daniel Tupou. His kick return meters were brilliant. And I'm really worried about him. He's been out for a long time now. A long time. 6 more there for the Roosters. That's great. Nafahu White. Good little run from him after Robson did the draw and pass. Yeah, Tupou's on 299 games. I think we're now at a point where Tupou will have to play into next season to become the most capped Rooster ever. And at the start of this season, it looked like it would pretty much be an open and shut case. Just had to stay fit. Tedesco out to find Rob Toyer. Stands to the tackle, gets away from them. Hasn't got much support, unfortunately, the centre. Still going here, in to find Sammy Walker. Holds the ball. Could have got an offload back to Toyer there. What a run from Toyer. Let's spread it to the left now. Cherry Evans. Gets it to find Lenu. Nothing really doing there. Bit of a chance. I don't know. It wasn't a massive chance, but half opportunity maybe there on the left went begging. Nafahu White now. Takes a tackle there. So one more to go here in this set. Here we go. Robson. Gets it back to find Cherry Evans. Oh, there's so much room around him. The veteran, no. What a try saver. What a try saver. Jeez, for a moment there, I thought he would have scored for sure. I think it was absolutely the right call to dummy and go himself. How did he not score? How did he not score? Walsh did brilliantly. Holy. What sliding defense there. Literally sliding defense and scramble defense from the Brisbane Broncos. Big moment. Big moment. We should be winning. We should be winning. Thoughts on the Doggies win? Really good. Very solid. You know, Titans would have come into that match with a lot of confidence, playing at home, obviously. It was scrappy at times, but it's a win. And really, Dogs just need to be getting wins. They know that. That's what this is all about for them. Absolutely. How did the Roosters build this God squad? Well, we brought them through. And I know that sounds crazy, but it is actually true. There's more homegrown players, and I say homegrown as in debuted at the Roosters, in the Roosters team than there are at the Panthers, which is crazy. More players in the Roosters 19 debuted at the Roosters than players who debuted at the Panthers for the Panthers 19. Insane stat, by the way. But anyway. Robio2 says, are you proud on my Legman 35 match? I have no idea what you mean. My apologies. Unfortunately. With some nice ladder predictions, my top 8 is Pars, Finns, Roosters, Wars, Knights, Manly, Bunnies, Storm. And keep in mind, this is if the Bunnies lose to the Knights, Pars, Wars, Storm, and Roosters, because points difference. Penalty there, Roosters. I think that's a very possible 5/8. I think that's a really good possible 5/8. Ha! Tiger just says Nick Politis. It translated into the chat to political Nick. That's hilarious. No, look, we've signed elite talent. That's the way we've always done. Well, at least under Trent Robertson, that's the way we've done things. Just redeemed a thing.
Money God 164 yet just redeemed changed the background color. change it to red and gold. Also, how is the game I made? Also in back, yellow square emoji, yellow square emoji.
Yes, I actually, once I saw you in the chat, I thought, I've still not played his game. I do apologize. I absolutely plan to do it. I'm sorry. I've been really, really, very, very busy. That's the best I could do for a Dolphins background. My bad. I will do it. I promise you I will do it. I can't promise when, but anyway. Watson with a good run there around the middle of the park. Yes, I will play. I am sorry. Focchetti with a run here. Gets an offload now to find Sammy Walker. He calls Lenu underneath him. Kick it behind. It's being chased by Toya, and it's going to be a goal line dropout. Yeah, we've always recruited elite talent over the top, but while we can't, we literally cannot grow local juniors, right? We've got 3 local juniors in our starting side, which is an incredible rate because we only have 3 local junior clubs. No team in the NRL has a better conversion rate than that. Most of them would be mathematically impossible to. But yeah, knocked back. I think they're from the Roosters, but I think Broncos have recovered the ball. Damn. That's annoying. Anyway, yeah, but we recruit young players from elsewhere, particularly New Zealand. We've done very well in that. And we have literally an academy now. That academy has created players like Wong, Savala, Toya, Yoelu. So it's, yeah, it's cool to see. Jeez, yeah, Billy Smith. He's had a couple of poor moments, unfortunately, in this game. Was it Billy Smith or Savala? I thought it was Savala, anyway. Haven't seen much yellow square emojis lately. There haven't been many Simmons lately. What can I say? Anyway. Oh, you're on a 35 stream watch streak. My bad. That's massive. 35 is incredible. That's amazing. Well done, Rugby02. Oh, Mark. That's back. That's back. Play on. Yes. Yes. I wasn't all that confident when I said it. Toya definitely crabbed forward there. The Broncos fans are not happy about it. I think he did knock it back before hitting the ground. Roosters recover the ball. If we could go to the sheds with the lead, that'd be very cool. Focchetti now. Leaguie, go do a 24-hour stream one day. It's hard when you're by yourself. You know, they had a rotating cast, but it has inspired me a bit. Tedesco out to the wing of Nwangani Tawase, holds it, gets an offload back and field to Toya. That's all back still. Somehow, Broncos recover it through Payne Haas, and he's away here. Watson with the tackle. Jeez. Up to the 40. Dreadful. But you know what? We asked a question. We asked the question. Anderson with an offload back to Karapani there. Haas was screaming down the field there. Big momentum shifter there. Big momentum shifter. Holy. Leaguie, did you know in the offseason the Roosters signed one of the NRL's best recruitment managers from Canberra? He's a fan of Liam Martin and quality second rowers in general, and was the reason why Young and Sasangi came to the Raiders. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. You're a bit delayed? I know. I have to be. I cannot be live with your broadcast, but the clock says 3:51 right now if you want to sync up with me. All right, on the last here, Pakes. Oh, back. They're going to go for a field goal through Reece Walsh. No, he's missed. He's missed. So George Dragons fan unfortunately told an untruth there. Not great. Didn't make me feel very good when I read that. I was quite deflated. But anyway, it was indeed a lie. I'm glad that Walsh missed that. I'm surprised that they went for a field goal. I mean, it was from right in front, but, you know, still a while left on the clock. Try and force a goal line dropout or something. But anyway, we get a 20-meter restart. Quite pleased with that result in the end. Yeah, I will, for the GTA 5 stream that I'll be doing over on Leaguie Games on the 6th. If you haven't subscribed to Leaguie Games, please do. We are so close to 1K subscribers. Yeah, it's, that won't be 24 hours, but it will be close. Oh, jeez. Some of these passes are really going haywire. They're going to score here. They're going to score. Oh, no. I can't really dispute that. My only hope is that maybe Mark was illegally, pushed out of the play. But these passes are not sticking. And the Broncos, they've literally got a try off it. I wonder if they're going to say Karapani took out Nwangani Tawase. I can't... Look, I'm biased, but I kind of feel like maybe he did. Tiger says I'll probably say this gets disallowed. Yeah, I hope so. I thought so live. Because Mark is going for it here. Did it already beat Mark, though? I think it already beats Mark, actually. Anderson did so well on that grounding. Bell was a family friend, and when I was little, I hung out with some of his brothers and cousins. My favorite player is actually Chelsea Lenarduzzi, but the NRLW season hasn't started yet. Fair enough. That makes sense. Look at that. The Broncos are still looking good despite the ladder position. Oh, yeah, they're looking all right. He certainly... it will be try-confirmed, yeah. Certainly stayed in the field of play. I think the ball had already beaten Wanganui Arce. I said Roosters' errors have been costing them, and that's the most costly error we've put together all game. Best NRL player from the Roosters all time? Arthur Beetson. Are you going back to Rugby League Live 3 streams? Nah, I'm frankly, unfortunately, too good at that game. It's just a bit boring. I know how to beat even the highest level of AI very comfortably. But certainly in the off-season, we'll be doing other stuff. And I'm going to, as I say, on Monday the 6th, be doing the entirety of GTA 5 in one sitting. It's going to be crazy, but I'm so excited about it. I really am. And that's a day where it's school holidays, so yeah. They've kicked that one and missed. So 16 points to 12, it remains. Very frustrating first half. I've got to be honest, very frustrating first half. I think that we've played better than the Broncos, but what a poor pass. It didn't find anyone, really. Didn't find anyone. YouTube ads stop interrupting Leaguie when he's responding to me. Challenge impossible. I'm sorry, I don't control them. I do not control them. GTA 6 pre-order it. I haven't actually got around to pre-ordering it, but I'm in absolutely no hurry to. It ain't going anywhere. Leaguie, do you think Schuster could get back on track at the Tigers under Benji? Yeah, for sure. So I listened to the Buy Round podcast with him, and he said all of the right things. I want to see him actually do it now. Geez, 63% completion rate. My God. But yeah, I want to see him actually do it, but I'm glad he's got the opportunity to. Some of the Roosters errors have been costly, massively costly. I think it's led to 2 of the Broncos' tries. You buying GTA 6 pre-order when it releases or not at all? I'm getting the pre-order for sure. I know that there's a lot of hype around GTA 6, right? I'm more so than 99% of people. GTA 5 is my favorite game of all time. I am absolutely obsessed with it. I've played so much GTA Online. It's my Christmas. It's more than my Christmas. Some Roosters errors have been really poor. Absolutely they have. Yeah, you're going to get a frustrated Leaguie Senior on the halftime call, so that's going to be nice and interesting. But anyway, I'm still confident. I think that we win. I think we've played better, and we'll have confidence coming into the second half. Surprising first half, when you just look at the scoreboard. We'll see if the Roosters have momentum and intent coming out into the second half. But yeah, a couple of poor errors, both in attacking ball and coming out of our own end, have led to Broncos points. All right. Let's get into the call. He's going to be, I think, a bit fuming. We'll see.
Hey.
Hello.
First, Teddy scored early on. He never knocked on, right? There's 6 points we should have had. Great try saver from Sammy Walker later. Robbed again on our challenge. You know, as an ex-referee. Sorry, this is Dylan, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
Could be my mum saying, "Are you coming over for lunch tomorrow? I'm looking forward to see you. You know."
She's Mauritian, by the way, to everyone who has no idea why he's doing that accent.
No, I just I don't know why I started speaking like that. My apologies to your audience. The challenge. We were robbed. We were going to score a try. There's another 6 points. And their second try, blatant forward pass. Haven't seen a forward pass that forward since 2013 grand final.
It's funny,
when we were on the-
I called it forward, and some of the people in the chat were saying, I don't think so, and I said, I'm pretty confident it was forward, and I know someone who's going to be even more confident that it was forward.
Yes, that was because the measure of the forwardness of a pass is not how far it goes forward, it's the angle at which it goes forward. You know, people say, oh, yeah, that was blatantly forward. That was 2 metres forward. It's actually the angle. Now, that was a short pass, but it was at 45 degrees to the lateral. So blatantly forward. Having said all of that, it's very simple for us. When we don't make mistakes, we win. And this is happening within one half of footy. When we have periods we're not making mistakes, we score. Far too many mistakes, and when we make those mistakes, we lose. So, look, evenly poised. I am really pissed at the officiating. That was disgusting. It's there for us to win, but, you know, beforehand, I just thought, this is it. Players out or not. This is Brisbane's season on the line. You know, there's pressure on us to win because the table's so tight, but they have to. They kiss their season goodbye. Having said that, if we can not make, you know, another 10 mistakes in the second half, I think we will win this game of footy, even though we'll be tired. But it's as simple as don't make mistakes, boys, and you're a better team than they are. You know, the horrendous one by Billy Smith, where Cro-Magnon Man gives him an absolute gobful. And let me tell you, you don't want a gobful from Cro-Magnon Man.
That's Lindsay Collins he's talking about, by the way. See, you have these inside jokes with me, but the 50 people watching have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, me, it's just me and you. By the way, I don't normally watch your live feeds. What's with the sunglasses?
I don't know. They're funny. I like them. And my eyes are a little bit screwed up at the moment, so...
Right, make sure you're taking all those medications and stuff. Yeah, so evenly poised. A friend of mine that does tarot card readings said she read the tarot cards and it all pointed to a Roosters victory.
Okay.
And then she said to me, oh, just visualise the score you want. So I visualised 42-6. So that's obviously out the window.
Damn.
Yeah. So... yeah, a bit annoyed at our own mistakes. I did like the defence up to that first try. But, look, it's North Queensland, right? It's that game all over again. If we make horrendous numbers of mistakes, we will lose a game of footy. We're not good enough to defend them the way, you know, it's not 10 years ago. So, but they're for the taking.
Well,
Sorry, the voice is still...
10 years ago, we finished second last, so I'm actually pretty happy it's not 10 years ago.
9 years, 8 years. Wait till you're 61, you'll see how you've got so fewer years to differentiate between.
That's true.
Than I do. So, yeah. Let's hope I'm having a scotch at full time. But I got to say, I don't think so. I think they'll be that little bit hungrier, and we look mistake prone tonight. We just look like the mistakes are gonna continue.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling that we're going to have a great game. But look, and then after the Parramatta game, because that'll still be Origin affected. Hey, interesting one. We've got 2 guys on record. I'd actually like them both to be suspended for one game, particularly since they both play for Queensland. They would miss the Origin game, wouldn't they?
I don't think it would be just... No, I don't think anymore. I think they might have changed that rule. The representative fixtures are different. It's my memory.
You can't do that because you can't be sure. Because then Billy Bloggs gets suspended and he says, all right, I won't play Origin.
No, but it did happen. It did happen a couple of years ago. Latrell Mitchell got a game off his suspension because he said he would have been picked for the Indigenous All-Stars.
Oh, I remember that. Oh, yeah, but then you've got the Indigenous issue coming into it, and you never want to...
Don't get into that. Do not... Stop talking, please. Let's not go there.
Okay.
I have a whole brand on the line here. I'm not trusting you.
Your audience know what colour I am, and then I grew up in the friggin' 70s.
It's true.
All right? I'll give them a little talk on racism. Overt, accepted racism in the 70s. Like my 5th class teacher calling my cousin Cadbury Big Block because she was brown-skinned and fat. Jesus Christ.
How did we get to this point? I just wanted to know your thoughts on the first half.
First half, yeah. So, mixed, very mixed, I think. And I'm not feeling it in my waters or my friend's tarot cards, I've got to say. Look at that, there's the forward pass again. They're just replaying it. Even Brandy said it was forward. You know, Brandy.
Yes.
Between us, we've got 265 first-grade games.
It's true. Well, look, I think we'll still win. I think we were probably the better team in the first half, even despite all the errors. But yeah, 2 very costly errors, particularly that one for their last try. So incredibly frustrating first half, for sure. But yeah.
But in our hands. And I thought Marky Mark got pushed off the ball too. I thought that was a bit hard.
Yeah, the ball had already passed him. I think that was the key thing.
Yeah, that I could forgive. But the forward pass and the one that we would have scored, but the ref says, no, it was a knock on. Hey, let it play out, man. Let's just see what would have happened. Look at that completion rate, 12 from 19.
Yeah, that's cost us. The refereeing things will, they'll come and go as you often say. But I was surprised at that call, and I was a bit animated about it because it wasn't even the case that a Roosters hand was anywhere near that ball.
No.
So that was frustrating.
Yes, that was a Bronco arse if ever there was one. So anyhow, all right, let's talk at full time.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Right.
See ya. All right, that was eventful. Want to clarify a couple of things. First up, just to George fan in particular, could you not? My dad is not an alcoholic. I doubt he would have had any beer today. I don't know. That doesn't sit particularly well with me that you're talking so much about him drinking. So let's not do that. Another thing is my dad is Mauritian, by the way. I want to make it very clear. Got brown skin. I don't know what he was alluding to with what he said there. I won't get into it. But yeah, certainly not a One Nation voter as Chico joked about. So yeah, but just wanted to mention those 2 things, especially the drinking. He's not. I would think he hasn't had a drink tonight. So yeah. Anyway, Scotch. No, he said if the Roosters win, he'd have a Scotch. I think that'd be the only alcohol he'd have. So yeah. Anyway, the footballer says favourite player. My favourite player is Connor Watson. It's going to be a shame to see him leave the Roosters. But it is what it is. Tiger Walker started the trend. Sure, I don't care who started it. Whatever. I'm saying it to everyone. Obviously, you said it a fair bit. But yes. He needs to calm down. No, Chico. No, bro. It doesn't mean it anywhere like that. He's just, he's being entertaining. He's all good. He's all good. As a Bronx fan, very happy we're leading at halftime for once. Yeah, you should be happy. Look, I think coming into this game, not many people would have given the Broncos a heap of a chance. And although I do still think Roosters win, you take a 4-point margin at halftime for sure. Absolutely do. Bilge Minna says, arrived in the Leaguie stream and immediately faced with Joe Chunkry alcoholism allegations. What's going on? Go back about 5 minutes. You'll get a very entertaining phone call. Is Willison ruled out? Willison is ruled out. Willison is ruled out for the rest of the game. Are you implying that black people can't vote One Nation, Lee? No. And if you interpreted it that way, I think that's maybe because you wanted to interpret it that way. No racism intended, but how are you so white if your dad is brown? Banger of a question. I don't know. I have no idea. Look, admittedly, I don't go outside much. I tan very quickly. So, that would be a reason. But, yeah, I mean, I've got an Anglo mother. And both of my brothers as well. I'm definitely the most light-skinned out of the 3 of us, but we are all light-skinned. So, yeah. Who do you reckon will win the decider of State of Origin? Queensland. I don't think they will struggle too much, personally. So, yeah. Rest of the year? What do you mean? Sorry, I'm not sure what I referred to there, but he's ruled out for the rest of the game. He's failed his HIA, if we're talking about Willison. Is your mum white? Yes, my mum is white. It's funny because my cousins on my dad's side has got 2 sisters, and both of their kids are brown-skinned, despite being married to Anglo-Australians as well. So it's funny, for all 3 sets of families, the children are the skin color of the mother. I don't know if that really, like, it's probably just a coincidence, but it is a distinct thing in our family. It's interesting. So Critter a 7 now or what? Not a 7 now. He's a 6. He's a 6. The stream has gone far, of course. This is normal, bro. This is absolutely normal. This is just kind of the way that we operate here. For sure. What's the name of the brother of Simon and the... I don't think he wants it to be public, so I've never said it. Is Latrell Mitchell a 6? No, I think Latrell Mitchell is a centre. No, TFCRK, I'm not in any meaningful way. I'm half Mauritian, I will say that. I would describe myself as Mauritian. More Australian than Mauritian in terms of identity, but anyway. But no, I'm not black. I'm half African, technically, but I'm not black. But it will be a close one. Look at game 1 and 2. I cannot agree, unfortunately. I'm super pessimistic about the Blues. I have been all series long. Game 1 wouldn't have been close if not for the sin bin, and game 2 was not close. It was at half time, but it was, yeah, a blowout in the end. So I think up at Suncorp, Queensland will be so up and about. No, I cannot, Chico, no. Teo says, it's Simon and Garfunkel. My brother's name's Simon and Garfunkel. That's a... See, there's levels to that. That's a reference to, about... It would have been roughly 4 a.m. last night. So, yeah. You reckon the county judge still holds a grudge? Oh, now that's a reference I love. The county judge, who held a grudge, will search forevermore for the band on the run. Paul McCartney's song. Maybe his best solo song. Probably not. I think Maybe I'm Amazed is great. Sukanator says, Maurice, we're actually from Madagascar, not Mauritius. Sorry, King Julian. Did King Julian really say that? I didn't know that we got a reference in Madagascar, but anyway. Reece Robson hurt his arm. Badly. Leaguie, are you okay with me sharing the stream that Joseph appeared in? Yeah, sure. Do you think Dogs will make the 8? No, but this win really, really helped them. For sure. Really, really helped them. Touch the Roosters logo and say, in Connor we trust. Yeah. In Connor we trust. In Connor we trust. Okay, well, would love the next try. Oh my god, it's chucking it down. That's not good for us. That's not good for us. Absolutely hoisting it down there. Hella rain. Hella rain. There you go. I think we have an easy draw to make the 8. Was it... So you've got a bye, then Raiders, then Tigers. I think those are the 2 games that will define your season. If you get wins in both of them, I think good chance. But beyond that, Warriors Storm, that's probably 2 losses. You've already got a losing record, so I think you're 7 and 8 now. You need 13 and 11 to make finals. So, geez, that's torrential rain. Holy. All right. Oh no, sorry, Chico's a Souths fan. Hang on. Really? I thought that someone said earlier the South draw was particularly difficult. Anyway. Roosters kick off for the second half. We are underway. Karapani's underneath that one. And a run through. Jack Krzyzewski. Great contact to Celeste Fiketti. Boo, I wanted a Broncos hate watch. It's not been the greatest of starts to it, but look, I think we'll still get there. I think we'll still get there. Krzyzewski is hurt badly there. It was great contact from Celeste Fiketti. My bandmate's also Mauritian. There's a few of us around. A lot emigrated to Australia. All right. We're at Razor Queensland at pause. Yes, unfortunately, seems to rain quite consistently when the Roosters play up in Queensland, but regardless, Haas with a run there. On the 4th. Here we go. Kick there. Oh, that ricocheted off a Rooster, so that's probably a good result for us. We're going to get to about the halfway line to start this set. Good result. Very good result. Here we go. Reverse says, apparently 15 and 9 gets you 13th, so I don't know anymore. The game has its bugs. It has its bugs, but I think it is still very fun to do. I will say that there's been times where I'm like, I put together such a good team and just really didn't happen. But that is, you know, true to life as well. That can be the case. All right, Butcher now. Back to Watson. Run from Sammy Walker. Puts it to Celesi Fichetti underneath. We'll play it there. Now in the hands of Walker again. Back to Robert Toya running himself. We'll just take a tackle there. So this will be the last. Watson now to Cherry Evans. Puts it up in the air. Trying to find Nwangani Tawase. It's knocked back there by the Broncos. We're going to have a look here. The mark might have been held back. This could be big. I don't think they'd rule the penalty try. This might mean a sin bin. Oh, huge moment, folks. Huge moment here. Check DMs after stream. I will try to remember, but I have a number of things to do after stream today, so I'll do my best to remember. I truly will. Hello, Madsen. Good to see you back. Be honest, was Robson signing needed for the Chooks? They have Watson and the incumbent Samoan hooker. No, but I like that we got it, and Watson's leaving anyway. Let's see here. I'm not confident it is professional foul, to be honest. On that first look. Oh yeah, he has grabbed him. There's contact. Might just be a penalty, but yeah. There's a wrapping motion there. There is. I think it's a harsh sin bin if so. It's a penalty. I'll take a penalty. However, I said this the other day. I absolutely disagree with the line that the bunker just said. Because of the presence of other Broncos, we're ruling out a professional foul. Presence of other Broncos doesn't make any difference. A professional foul is one action. It's an action that an individual player takes. The individual player is the one that gets sin bin. Whether other players are there makes absolutely no difference. If it's try scoring situation and player was tackled without the ball, it's a professional foul. But I think that would have been a very, very harsh sin bin. That feels as well like a bit of a disproportionate penalty. So yeah, happy with just a penalty there. 6 more there for the Roosters. Walker to find for Ketty underneath. Back towards the post. Love a try here, please. Come on. Come on, let's get one. Let's just get one. Just get one. And then like 3 or 4 more. Watson to find Walker. Tedesco to find Savala. Oh, we scored! Billy Smith! I did not think we'd get that at all, but he's claiming it. And it's being given. 16 points apiece. Come on! Woo! Hell yeah. I want to see this put down because there was not a lot of room to work with. To be honest, when Savala passed to Billy Smith, I thought he's going over the sideline for sure. I want to see this. Billy Smith has done brilliantly here. Brilliantly. Fends away from Arthurs. Yeah, he's got that. What an effort from Billy Smith. Yeah, Chico, we have a few of those bots that come in. I don't really know how to counter against them. Probably could. But yeah, great put down from Billy Smith. Love that start to this second half. Damn, I get so jump scared by Watson still, like I'm sorting B to get mildly startled. I do apologize. If you want, I can refer to you by your first name, but your username is Watson, so I naturally call you that. But like, for example, for a handful of viewers, I do. Like, Dean, I call Dean instead of roaming to Rome. So, if that could fix it. But anyway. There's a bot in Twitch chat. Yeah, they'll send one message and then leave. No big deal. Someone asked, are you still mad about Dom Young? Yeah, the footballer king. Mad isn't what I ever was. I was sad for sure. Look, I think at the end of the day, we're better off maybe without him, and he's better off without us. But I'm sad that it didn't work out. I'm not necessarily sad that he left because I would have loved him to find his potential at the Roosters. It's K if you want. I mean, if it will help, maybe for Roosters games, I'll say K. You're going to think I'm talking about Carmichael Hunt. Anyway, Walker to put the Roosters in front. Hits it from the sideline. It's hung out well to the right, so it's going to be 16 points apiece. Kat says, I need to go study. This game's making me anxious. I hope we win. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I were to leave a game like this, I'd just get more anxious, to be honest, wondering about what's what's taken place. So, all right. Well, given the absolute torrential rainfall, I'm very happy that we got an early try there. I really wouldn't have liked to see 20 minutes go in the second half, and they just retain that 4-point lead. We're back on level pegging here. That kickoff was really angled towards the sideline. That was a tricky one, but we've handled it well there. Walker's a crap kicker. You said this before with his kicking form. He might have a bit of improvement there, but I think the numbers show he's a pretty good goal kicker. Ron says, I've given up on rugby league this year because, let's face it, Raiders aren't making the finals, my favourite team. I can understand that, but I'd hope, if you're an enjoyer of rugby league, you can sit back and enjoy, the rest of the season as a neutral almost. I know in years where the Roosters haven't been contenders, I certainly have been able to enjoy that, so yeah. Young 2024 will always hold a special place in my heart, except for that one send-off, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Good catch there from Reece Walsh, and he just sits down there. Billy Smith sort of hits him a bit hard there on the ground. Why is the Roosters kicked wide? It was very, very hard to hit. I thought you said, why is the Roosters kit white? And I'm like, oh, it's the away kit. But anyway. Oh, geez, they are really spreading the ball there, the Broncos. In the rain, that's bold from them, but they don't come up with an error, so that's certainly a pass mark. Toya with a tackle there with Siwa Wong. Redemption for Brisbane Broncos. I don't know if you're looking at the poll, but the poll on YouTube is still Brisbane Broncos. Or sideline beckoning. No, they've done well to keep him in field there. 60% of people reckon Brisbane Broncos win this game. Again, surprising. Oh, Walsh hit hard. Penalty, no. By Toya. Penalty for offside. God damn it. That sucks. I thought we'd come up with a brilliant result there, but penalty Broncos. Jeez. Oh, it's a song I like. That's good. That helps me a little bit. Yeah, that's really poor there. On the last, we had them kicking from their 40. That's rough. Wet me up when the Broncos lose. I hope I'll be able to. My friend is a Raiders fan. It's a really weird season for the Raiders. I think they're going better than second last would indicate, but can't deny the ladder. Can't deny the numbers. Pakes. To find Payne Haas. Tackle there. Who even likes Brisbane? Apparently a few people. Pakes now. In at hooker. To give it to Ben Hunt. Duffy, dummies, goes himself. Still 3 tackles left here. Broncos looking good when they get down to this end of the field. Pakes now. Gets it to find Reece Walsh. Stepping around. Takes a tackle there. Gets an offload, in fact, now. It's in the hands of Ben Tolty. No, in fact, it's Jack Gojebski. Pakes. Finds Haas. Hunt. Dummies. Takes a tackle there. It looked potentially high contact, but no call. Hunt plays it. Now in the hands of Walsh. We'll put boot to ball. Oh, try saver from Cherry Evans. If that had beaten him, I think Broncos score there. That's rough. That's very lucky from the Roosters. They want to run Siwa Wong out of our own end there. If you live in Brizzy, you either hate them or support them. Seems like it, yes. Sammy Walker there. That's not a bad run either. It's not ideal, but anyway. I love you, Legman, but I'm against you here. I mean, I can understand. I can understand that. I get it. I don't mean Brisbane Broncos with any disrespect, by the way. I name literally every single team in a funny way. Collins failed HIA, not ideal, so that makes up for Willison. Like, I call Parramatta Parramatta. I call, I don't know, there's a few different ones anyway. Penrith Panthers. Souths I always do in lowercase letters no matter what, so yeah. Leaguie, do you miss Steggles sponsor? I hate BYD last year's jersey. Well, it's this year's jersey as well. I don't like the away jersey from last year, if that's what you mean. That was terrible, but it's integrated a lot better this time. I do miss Steggles a bit. I loved the symmetry of us being sponsored by a chicken company. But BYD does look very clean on the jerseys now. All good, WTF. See you later. What do you call the Waz? Waz, brah, maybe? I don't know. I like the Warriors, so I kind of call them something good. Dude, I'm permanently calling them Broncos now. It's so funny. It just is, isn't it? It is funny to call them the Broncos. Anyway. So, what a set there defensively from the Roosters. Good kick there on the last for Brisbane. But Teddy will return this to around the halfway line if he straightens. Raiders, that's true. Yes, I do call them the Raiders. I spent the last hour going back nearly a year and reliving the ELG storyline. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Can you give us the case synopsis now that it's back? I'm curious. Anyway. I've loved this second half so far, the opening 10 minutes. Feketi now. He ditched the headgear. I saw that there was white headgear down on the other end of the field. It's his. Watson, Connor Watson now, to find Sam Walker. Maybe I'll call him Connor Watson and then call Watson in the chat normal, or not normal Watson, but just Watson. DCE with a kick up over the top there. Trying to find Nwangani Tuase, but he volleys it on. He volleys it on. Knocked back in field. Back now, knock on, I think Cherry Evans, though it's called back. Jesus Christ, this is a most calamitous play. Tedesco does manage to step around a couple, gets an offload. Sockered through by Cherry Evans, and Walsh is back there. Jeez, when Cherry Evans socketed it on, I thought, we could be on here, boys. I don't know how he came up with a result there. That was insane. Mark hit that on the volley. What the hell? Any guesses who the Mauritian eligible players are? No, I have no clue, but I would love to know. I would love to know. I'm so curious. I don't think there'd be any that are, certainly none in first grid. I would know about them, surely. But maybe a couple in the Super League. Anyway, pass there through to Preston Ricky. Fun fact, the Broncos and Roosters are from Brisbane and Sydney. Ain't no way, Benji. Ain't no way. Don't believe it. Ben Hunt with a kick. High up in the air. It's going to be Billy Smith underneath it. Solid catch there from the local junior Roosters winger. Kind of nervous now. Need than I was before the game. Thinking the Roosters would win easy. I need this for my tipping comp. I need this for a lot more than my tipping comp. Okay, delayed symptoms from Collins. So that's why he's failed the HIA. Yeah, I'm more nervous than I was to start the game, but I'm still kind of confident that we win. I don't know. If Laurie picks Moses over Strange, she's lost the plot. Okay, I mean, in my opinion, I think we're a bit beyond losing the plot, but regardless. Bradley now back to find Walker. Tedesco on for Hugo Savala. It's a 2-on-1 here. Savala did well to hold the ball there. Didn't force the issue, but good defense from Brisbane. Forced him into that. Walker will kick it here on the last. High up in the air. It's being chased through, not really too intently there. Walsh will get it, and Cherry Evans does well to tackle him. This is the synopsis of exposing Leaguie games. I created the channel while you were on stream, partnered with Cosmic, and I remember how we fooled literally everyone into thinking Cosmic was exposing Leaguie games. Then the announcement video came out, and the server was sent into shock. I then watched all the videos and remembered how the last vid was from a stream recording. I can't wait to see it back. It's so cool. Loz lost it long ago. I think so. How about me playing Willison or Zillison over Tuonkin in my Supercoach team? Not what you want. Hunt back to find Walsh. Short ball there. Good tackle, Billy Smith on Katoni Staggs. Very good work. No markers there, so Walsh runs 10 meters and then puts a kick in. Has Tedesco turned around on his bike there. Can Teddy get away from the first kick chaser? He can. Does well there in the end, the Italian Stallion in his 200th Roosters game. Doggy Superfan just says bonkers. I love it. I love it. Yeah, Brungy, that certainly won't happen. That certainly won't happen now. Anyway, did you play League as a kid? I didn't. I grew up in a country where there was no junior rugby league. There was a little bit of senior rugby league, so I got into refereeing that. But could not play junior rugby league, unfortunately. Connor Watson there with a good run. That's high contact on him, but he breaks through. Gets a pass to Sammy Walker. He doesn't have Tedesco there in support. Puts a kick up over the top. Teddy! No, it's knocked dead there by Duffy. Brilliant work there from Duffy. Brilliant work there. Is Teddy's nose gone again? Jeez, it was good play from Sammy Walker in the end. I like it. But Duffy, another try saver. How many moments in this game have we said an individual Bronco with a try saver there? Brilliant work there, Connor Watson. And the kick over the top, yeah, it was all fair. It was all fair. Duffy did so well. The Brisbane sound of Leaguie hitting an empty Pepsi Max bottle on his head. Oh, it's so true. Wait, where's... Here it is. The Brisbane O's. Are you fluent in Dutch? not. I wouldn't say I'm fluent. I understand it fluently. I don't speak it fluently, but close, very close. We get a little bit of a moonshine there from William Smith. What country did you grow up in? The Netherlands. The Netherlands. All right. I feel the Roosters will score here, and therefore they will. Robson onto Walker. Tedesco gets it to Savala. Out to find Billy Smith. Doesn't back himself that time. Goes back in field. Walker gets it. Does want to hold the ball because he had Stags absolutely on him. Zeroed in like a predator. Connor Watson with it. Stepping around the middle. Jeez, there was a bit of a half gap there. Anyway, that's hilarious to Leaguie, swear. DCE, short ball to find Siwa Wong. Can't get an offload away. Good defense here from Brisbane. 25.5 minutes left in this game. Robson to Walker. Doesn't have anything going on there. This last tackle play ain't it. They get it out to that Butcher. He does put boot to ball. Jeez, if he kept going through the hands, there was a 3-on-2. That was a poor decision from Nat Butcher. I reckon if he goes through the hands, we score. Yikes. Moments, ladies and gentlemen. Moments. There was numbers. Yeah, there was numbers. There was. If he'd just gone out to Savala, I think it's a simple draw and pass and we score. Yikes. Look, I'm still confident of a win, but I feel more and more as this game progresses that I'm going to be sitting here in half an hour agonizing over moments that cost us in this game. Do you know what I mean? Prediction for Wires versus Finns tomorrow. Won't make that stream. It's in Brisbane, right? Yeah. It is, Suncorp. On that basis, I tipped Dolphins. I remember tipping the home team. But without any confidence. They are both in brilliant form. Good run there from Mark. Was it high contact? No, it's all right. What did you speak in the Netherlands? I went to an international school. So my education was in English. My family all speak English. And in public in the Netherlands, they actually rate #1 in the world for English proficiency for a country that doesn't have English as their main language. They're incredibly good at speaking English. And frankly, I think in our lifetimes, really, English will become the most spoken language in the Netherlands. All advertisements there now are in English. So, at least where I was from in The Hague. So, yeah. Walker now. To find a Fahu White, maybe not in our lifetimes for the whole country, but in an area like The Hague, for sure. And Amsterdam, for sure. Played there by White. This is the last. Sam Walker puts a kick up. Nwangani Tawase will go up for it. Good catch there from Karapani. Very good catch. Robson and Walker tackle him. I like where we've got the Broncos throughout this second half, but I want to come up with points. Fun fact, the National Rugby League is actually international. Yes, no, I am aware. I wonder at what point we do rename it, but NRL is obviously just, it's such a brand in itself. It's used interchangeably with the sport. We refer to NRL and Rugby League interchangeably sometimes, which is massively disrespectful to the Super League, but we do. So I don't think it will really change. Is Ramsey the future of the Roosters club at fullback and the best thing they have to offer, or do they have someone else lurking in the background? No, he will not be the future fullback of the Roosters. He's a good fill-in outside back for us. And maybe, like, I reckon if he was willing to take a punt, he could go to a team like the Bears and maybe find a starting spot. But Rex Bassings-Thwaite is certainly the future fullback at the Roosters. Good offload Billy Smith to find Cherry Evans. Good run there from the wily old veteran. Takes a tackle there, tackled by Ben Hunt. So Walker now gets it to the Fahu White. That's a great run as well from the front rower. We're certainly on top here, the Roosters, but I want to see us come up with points. That's the next test. Connor Watson now to find Sammy Walker. Nat Butcher underneath after, unfortunately, bombing a try earlier. I wish the team was put in Adelaide over PNG. Yeah, I mean, I've made my thoughts sort of clear on that. Back to Walker. Stands in the tackle. Gets a pass to Nwangani Tuase for the corner. Gets a pass back in field. Jeez, great defense there from the Broncos. Great defense. I don't know if the pass was the play there. Mark had to sort of stop. But jeez, Brisbane are really keeping themselves in this game. They really, really are. Brilliant work here. Like when Walker dummied there, yeah, he had to do the pass, but what brilliant defense from Karapani. What brilliant defense. I'll never forget in Spider-Man Far From Home when he woke up in a random prison somewhere in Europe and was surprised how good the prisoner's English was. One said, "Welcome to the Netherlands." Yeah, we are very good at speaking English. We are. I love that it's such a thing that the joke made a Marvel movie. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, they like, if you go to the Netherlands, especially, as I say, areas like Amsterdam, Rotterdam, The Hague, and you speak Dutch with any English accent whatsoever, or American accent, or Australian accent, they will identify it and they will just respond in English. Absolutely. On public transport there, they'll say, het volgende halte is, the next stop is, and then announce the name of the stop. Het volgende halte means what is the next stop, so yeah. Well, it means next stop is, sorry. Referee and bunker bias in first half, always in favor of Broncos. I don't agree with that. I think there were a couple of calls where we got unlucky, the Roosters, but I don't think it's because of ref bias. Good catch there from Billy Smith. So we're approaching the final quarter of this game. Good tackle there. Roosters are going to be forced to come out of their own end.
Someone just redeemed a thing.
We're changing the background color.
Chico, we 420 just redeemed. Change the background color. Make the colors red and green. Also enjoy the game.
I'm trying to enjoy the game. I'm trying to. It's really going to... the thing that will matter is whether we win or not. Red and green, I guess, bro. I guess. Anyway. Why is it not changing? Oh, I know why it's not changing. Yeah, I think if you're a Brisbane Broncos fan, you would absolutely take how this second half has gone. That's an error from the Roosters, maybe? Knock on, Broncos. 6 more Roosters. Come on. Come on. It's all coming up, Chookies, baby. Robson, nearly intercepted. Savala's got it. Go, Hugo, underneath Billy Smith. Go, you good thing. Walker for the lead. Yes. Yes. Come on, we needed that so badly. So badly. Come on, yeah, the boys. Come on. Yes. You have no idea how much we needed that, bro. Walker with an offload. I thought Teddy had knocked it on. Bit of soccering on from the Italian. Knock on their Stags, and we go immediately there. Yes. Come on. I was going to say, nearly intercepted as well. Jesus. Oh, I was going to say, from a Broncos perspective, you take it, given how dominant the Roosters have been. You take just having conceded 4 points, but hell yes. Billy Smith as well. Did great to get the offload away, given that he was going to fall down there. Come on. This is your When Harry Met Sally moment. I don't really know. I haven't seen the movie, but I will say, Sally from When Harry Met Sally, low-key, like, absolute crush. We'll fully admit that. So, sounds good to me. I have what you're having. I'm having, currently, a Sydney Roosters comeback. Pass may have been forward. Pass, look, I think it was maybe less forward than the Ben Hunt one. But we'll call it even. We'll call it even. I don't care. We'll call it even. Jesus, I was right in the Jairo stream about how Italy would have qualified for the World Cup if they had Tedesco. Yep. Absolutely. Hell yes. Halfway through the season, and it still hurts to see that new ugly Broncos logo. Do you think they will revert to the old logo? And on that topic, do you think other teams should do this? For example, Titans. Titans, no. I think the Titans logo was aged. It was very 2010s. Looking at it now, I am a bit like, yeah, it's not really up to date with modern, more simplistic logos. Walker with a kick. Bang. Broncos logo, I don't think was aged in the same way at all. Could have maybe used a slight tweak and a couple of little elements, but yeah, I think that this logo is just clearly a downgrade. Sam Walker points record. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see the graphic that they showed. It was most points in 100 games. Was it for the Roosters or... Have the Titans ever made finals? Yes, I believe twice. They made a prelim final in 2010 and then made the finals in 2021. I think those are the only 2 times. Leaguie has a crush on a 64-year-old. Okay. I actually have a crush on an 84-year-old. His name's Paul McCartney. But anyway, aside from that, no, I mean at the time of the movie. At the time of the movie. Egan Butcher is on the field now. I hate modern simplistic logos. I'm not a big fan of them either. And like, for example, my soccer team, Sunderland, I love the logo that Sunderland have. And I love these old traditional English football logos. But they are being changed. And I can understand why. I can understand why. Connor Watson with a great run there. Great run. Okay. Next try could be everything. Everything. They also made it in 09 and one other time, I think. They made it like 4 times. Really? I remember checking on Rugby League Project, and my memory was that they'd only done it twice. Oh, no. Sorry. What it was, they've only finished with a winning record twice, but they did make the finals in 2021 with a losing record. Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing. We're going to get another try here. No.
127 just redeemed head dent check.
You know what? That's not as bad as it usually is. Good defense, Brisbane. When Savala got that ball, I thought we could be in again. Bulldogs logo is the worst, so bad. I think it's my... I don't like it very much. Maybe my least favorite in the comp. Yeah, Billy Smith, that's poor. It's poor error. Simplistic logos are cheaper to produce. Yes, and I think that they are better for quick reactions, which is what a lot of modern media advertising is about. Look, I think that there'll be a world where the Roosters transition to this logo quite soon. Just putting that on the jersey. And to be honest, I would take that. I like the logo with, you know, the shield at the back, Roosters at the bottom, Sydney at the top. Obviously, it's what I've grown up with. But I think that this is a really good compromise of maintaining that logo whilst also making it more simple. I think that will come quite soon, to be honest. Arthur's a little bit clear. Good offload there from Stags, but he's knocked on there. He's knocked on. Billy Smith gets one back over Jesse Arthurs. We'll take that. Come on. Hell yeah. Back to the blue background, by the way. Is that called the blackground? '09, 2010, 2016, 2021. Can you... Latitude came with a losing record. Yes. So as I say, I remember them... I remembered the number 2, but it was a winning record. Yeah, there we go. How have they made the finals twice with a losing record? That's incredible. That's incredible. League, you should go bald if Chooks don't make a grand final this year. It's been 6 years, buddy. 6 years since the grand final ain't that bad. That's the vast majority of teams. No, I ain't going bald. However, a hair-related thing that I would be prepared to do one day is dye it green. I think that'd be really funny. But I don't know exactly what I would do. What it would take for me to do that. Anyway. 15 minutes left. Oh, my days. Oh, short ball, Nafahu White. Beautiful for the big fella. Plays it on the 4th. Robson to find Walker. Underneath there to find Connor Watson there. In fact, it was Egan Butcher. DC with a run. So it'll be on Sam Walker for the last here. Robson gets it to him. Put a little chip over the top. Trying to find Robert Toya. Knocked back. Mark Nwangani Tawase is still all back here. Is he going to put boot to ball? He does eventually. Robert Toya chasing. There's an unmarked winger out there in Karapani. Goes back towards the field of play though. Jeez. Oh, is that over horizontal? Ah. What a pressure reliever. That's really poor. That's really poor. Would you go green for $500? I have to give that some serious consideration, to be honest. Yeah, I would. I have to give that some consideration. Look, actually, I think what I would do, I'd reserve it for like a milestone. I think I'd reserve it for hitting 20K or something like that. But anyway, yeah. Who wins? I think Roosters win. But ain't comfortable about it, and a penalty like that certainly doesn't help. I'm going to give you guys some chair content for a sec. I'll be back in 20 seconds. Yeah, that was within 15 seconds for sure. Did I say 20 seconds? It was even less than that. Way less than that. Bruce's penalty? Oh, yes! I've loved this second half. I've really loved this second half. We've got to close it out. The margin is 4. They could take the lead with one try, but I've really liked this second half. Fun fact, Leaguie made his channel on the 21st of January 2024. I did. However, as I've often said, I did about a month of prep work before making my channel, of designing the logo, of getting it right, of making all sorts of different graphics and stuff. So, yeah. But it's funny. When I started, I had no idea I'd do the green suit. And that's probably like been the biggest thing, which is crazy. I was just going to wear normal shirts. I was going to wear normal shirts in my videos. Anyway. I think a Roosters try here gives us one hand on the victory. White with a good run there. Very good run. Forced down by Payne Haas. He does get up and plays it. It was a little bit weird there. Anyway, Connor Watson dummy and going himself. This will be the third now. Penalty Roosters 2. 2. Take the 2. Walker's calling for it. Walker's calling for it. Take the 2. He got up quickly. To be honest, I think that maybe that could have gone either way in terms of penalty or playing the ball too quick. But surely we take 2 here. Do you think Tolti will play for England? I hope that there's forwards out there for England that are better than Ben Tolti, and I think that there are. But he'd be in the conversation. I don't know how big squads you bring to the World Cup are, but obviously he's premiership winner. Oh, thank you, Mario.
Do good coaches have rain-affected game plans and are visible to the naked eye? If a coach doesn't have a noticeable change, does that make you worried?
They absolutely do. They absolutely do. And basically what it is, they'll have... It's not necessarily a different game plan, but the game plan that they build has built-in elements to here's how you rein it in depending on the conditions. Yeah, if you're playing dry weather footy in a wet weather game, of course that makes you worried. You can't do that whatsoever. And it is tricky for sides who build themselves off high-scoring attacking footy. I think it's why often we see the best defensive teams beat the best attacking teams over the course of a season, because that defensive game plan is more adaptable to conditions. Not the only reason, but I think it's a reason. So, yeah, but, you know, attacking footy can absolutely work. We saw the current premiers, the Broncos. Wait, 8 the margin? Am I tripping? For some reason, I thought it was 4 the margin. I've been under the impression that we were winning by 4 points. I don't know why I thought that. I just can't do maths. So that's even better. That's way better. Hell yes. Well, thank you for the $8. We're winning by 8. That's much appreciated. So yeah, any coach worth his position will come up with a game plan that's adaptable. But I will also say, when you look at the best sides and the best coaches, it's not even, like, yes, there's obviously a game plan that takes place, but a coach like Trent Robinson, for instance, not an X's and O's coach. That kickoff was weird. He talks about how players like Sam Walker, James Tedesco, Daly Cherry Evans, they know the game. And frankly, they know rugby league better than Trent Robinson does. So Trent Robinson's job is about creating an environment that gets the best out of those players. And creates a way that they can all work together with them collaboratively. It's about creating that environment. I think Ivan Cleary is maybe the best example of that. I don't view him, obviously without knowing what happens behind the scenes at the Panthers, I don't think he's really that technical a coach. I think he's just great with his group at getting them up and about. Great man motivator. So, Cherry Evans with a kick up over the top. It's going to be knocked on there by Mark. Yeah. The kicks to Ngongoni Tuase really have not been effective all night. 2016 Titans came 8th after Eels had points deducted for breaking the cap. Eels went 13-11. Titans went 11-1-12. Well, there we go. That makes sense as to why they were able to make finals there. But yeah, I remember 2021 was a weird-ass season, obviously. But yeah, Titans, they just about snuck in. Which current NRL player has the best X factor? Reece Walsh. And then Pandemically says Reece Walsh is mad overrated. It kind of depends how you rate Walsh. Like, I don't overrate him, but I think I know exactly how good he is. I don't think he's the best player in the league. I think he can be, but he doesn't do it consistently enough. But he's a player as well who is not a something out of nothing player necessarily. He needs a little bit of time and space at this stage in his career. He's staying down here, Reece. Oh, he's waiting. He's sucking in the big ones, waiting for the bunker to have a look, and eventually succumbs to it and plays it. I don't mind the result. Gave the Roosters a bit of a defensive break there for a few seconds. Hold a grudge against the Roosters because the 2019 Grand Final against the Raiders. I will make a video on that one day. I've always said this. Anderson with a pass there. Bit of a line break saver for Ngongoni Tuase, but it's going to be 6 more here for the Broncos. All right. Big defensive period coming up here for the Roosters. Fun fact, there was a point in time where LeBron James was in NBA and Alan Hunger was still playing NRL. He was playing in 1986, by the way. That's insane. That's insane. I mean, LeBron's been around a long-ass time, so. 7 minutes 40 left. I'm watching that clock tick the hell down. Moser to find Hunt. Back to find Duffy. Now Reece Walsh. Cut out pass to find Karapani. He's had a good game, Karapani, but forced backwards here massively by Toya and Nawanganitawase. That's good stuff. That's very good stuff. We'll play it there. So this is going to be the third. Ball beats all of them. Good pick up there from Payne Haas. Gets away from Siwa Wong and straightens. Went straight at Sammy Walker. We've done well to wrap him up there. He got an offload away, but that could have been a lot worse. Alblix Talfa now. Netherlands eligible. Shout out to him. All right. Plays it there. This is the last now. He's staying. No, he's really hurt, Alblix Talfa. He's really hurt. He can hardly get up. He's trying. He's gone. His ankle is gone. Reece Walsh has the ability to pick the ball up right now, and with guidance can manage to get the ball 100 meters. That is X Factor. It is, but I think he needs space to do it. A little bit. Yeah, Butcher just fell awkwardly on the back of his leg there. I don't know. I need to have another look at that. I'm not thinking it's necessarily a foul play moment. I think it might just be a tackle gone wrong, but I'm not sure here. Do you think it's good, the RLWC finals in Brisbane? Yeah, I don't know if we would have sold out Accor, unfortunately. No, it's a penalty, and they're going to take the 2. That's huge. That's huge, and it's the right play to take the 2, for sure. That puts you on report. So I want to see this. I won't dispute the decision. I've only had one little look at it. But it was Nat Butcher, tackle from Oblique Stuffer. Yeah, he did lose his legs. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That's poor from us. Could be field goal season for us then. Could be field goal season if we get the ball back in solid field position. But it's good. As Brisbane convert, I often will see teams, maybe not in an example as obvious as that, but you'll see them just go for the try when it makes no sense to, and then try and kick a 2-point field goal at the end of the game. Take the 2 points when you can. They're within 6. They're within 6. What a 6 minutes we've got coming up, folks. I'm nervy as anything. I am very, very nervy. Oblique South is still limping around. He can't continue to play. He has to come off. 24-18, that it is. Allianz should have hosted the World Cup final if it was to be in Sydney. Yeah, I would agree with that. But anyway. Leaguie, how many times are you going to say us? I refer to the Roosters as us. I'm obviously not on the team. But I ride and die with the club. That's the way I refer to them. I do it subconsciously, even. All right. No, I am glad that it's in Brisbane, the World Cup final. It does mean I probably can't get to it, but anyway. Will you swear if one of the Rickies kick a field goal? Yes, I will. Absolutely. All right. I might be able to not contain myself from swearing if Brisbane kick a field goal at all. But anyway. Haas then. Good tackle there from the Roosters. Oh, we nervy. Ooh, we nervy. He plays it. Moser. To find Ben Hunt. Now short ball from Duffy. On to find, is that Preston Ricky? No, it's Brendan Piakura. Tackled by Cherry Evans and Wong. We're at the point of the game where I've got my arms up in the air through nerves. On the 4, 3-on-2. Sags gets it out to Arthurs, who does brilliantly to hold the ball there. Does really well to hold the ball. Would have been a costly error if he'd come up with it. Hunt puts a bomb up in the air. That's looking like a nightmare to catch. Teddy's underneath it. Good work from the fullback. And Ricky tackles him. It's good work from the Broncos, but I'll take that from a Roosters perspective at the same time. Brisbane absolutely throwing themselves at the Roosters here in defense. Nawanganitawase with a run. WTF says we are so back. I'm nervous. Will the Broncos win this game or the Roosters keep this going? Find out in this incredible game of NRL here at Suncorp. You should be an announcer. You should absolutely be an announcer. On the 4th, White with a run. In 2021, Titans, Raiders, and Sharks all finished with a 10-14 record, with Titans having the best points difference. I didn't realize it was 10-14. I thought it was just a slightly losing record. 10-14 is insane, but I remember that 3 teams finished on that record, yeah. Didn't remember who it was. I never realized how weird your arms look without the suit on. Yep, I have arms. It's true. I've got Got arms. That looks really... That angle, that looks so weird. Oh, what the hell? That looks so strange. I promise you I have normal arms, but that looks so weird. Anyway, whatever. So, on the third, 3.5 minutes left in this game. Hunt gets it out to find Grant Anderson. Can't step inside Robert Toyer. Tackle there on the fourth. In fact, that's even better. Let's go. I thought that was the third. Hunt to find Moser. They're going to try and strike on the right here. 3-on-2 through Walsh. Cut out pass to Arthur's on the wing. He's in space. Tackled there well. Tackled there very well by Tedesco. But they'll go back the other way. There's no fullback home. There's no fullback home. Walsh knows it. Puts a bomb up in the air. It's going to be Billy Smith tasked with catching it. He does catch it. Okay. 3 minutes left. We could probably limit Brisbane to one more set. Probably. I noticed you had some hypermobility. I don't know, but that seems weird, but yes. I can confirm he has normal arms. I've seen them in person with my own two eyes. That's true, you have. Legman, even your arms or legs. I love that. Penalty Roosters! Come on! I'm not happy that he stayed down. I want to make this clear, because I criticized Walsh from it before. I am not happy that Nwangani Tuasa, he stayed down there to get a penalty. I would rather play on. He gets up, he toughs it out, and we don't get a penalty. As a fan, I'd rather support that. But it was high contact. And I'll celebrate the result. But anyway. Come on! That's huge. That's huge. It doesn't really change much. Brisbane will still get another complete set. But it allows us to give it back to them in much worse field position from a Broncos perspective there. How Mauritian are your arms? I don't think that Mauritian really comes into it. But anyway. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Just hold the ball. Hold the ball and get to a kick. And then we've just got one set to defend. White with a great run. Come on. White plays it. Robson. Now to find Egan Butcher. Hold it, Egan. You've done well. You've done well, lad. Come on. Reece Robson now to the left-hand side. Radley. Just tuck it and run, brother. Tuck it and run. He's lost the ball. Penalty Roosters. 2. They'll challenge it. They've got to challenge it. Grant Atkins said he said something about a challenge. Anyway, they are challenging it. The game could come down to this. Okay. They're hoping for something miraculous here, the Broncos. Either it's a 2-on-1 strip or it's a Brisbane knock-on. I was about to go off at Victor Radley, you know. Yeah, it's a 2-on-1 strip. 2-on-1 strip. Take the 2. I'm so glad. Yes. There were points in this game where I was like, oh no, feeling a little bit oi. But we got it done. Presumably, if we kick this goal, I think it's pretty much done. Walker will take up so much of the clock before hitting this one. They're debating it, but yeah, you take the 2. You take the 2. Walker is, yeah, he's saying, no, we're not going for goal. I mean, if you go for goal and miss, it's not great. But okay, we're kicking for touch. Surprises me. I've got to be honest. That surprises me. Broncos are going to be trying all sorts of things. I don't know why you wouldn't take the 2 there. All right. Here come the Broncos. But just wrap the ball up and play it slowly. Play it really, really slowly. There, Radley. Oh, got a bit of a cramp. Now in the hands of that Butcher. Oh, he's got a little bit of twinge in the ankle, you see. Just getting up and we'll eventually play that one. Good work. Egan Butcher now, the brother. We'll hit it up. On the third. Robson to Nafahu White. He wants it, you know. He gets over. He won't get it down, but Nafahu White, he wanted to have a go there. He wanted to have a rugby league go. Ah, let's go. I'm so gassed about this, folks. I really am. Teddy with a run. 9-8. He's just crabbing away from them there. Holds the ball. That's it. Yes! The games against Cronulla and Brisbane, I remember looking at them and thinking they will define our season. I was saying this, I said it on stream and I said it privately a lot. To get 2 wins in those 2 games, we're flying. Doesn't really matter how we get them, I just want to get the wins. After coming out of a really tough period there, the loss against the Cowboys at Magic Round really set off a bit of a chain reaction of events. It was poor. It was poor. We struggled a little bit at times throughout the Origin period, but that's a really, really good win. I'm super happy with it. Coming out of the loss against the Dolphins, to get these 2 wins back-to-back. Got, I think, Parramatta next week. It should be quite winnable. And we further consolidate our position up in the top 4. Come on. Yes. Yes, we'll call the father dearest. He said he wasn't feeling it. And he said this at halftime of the last game as well. And I maintained both times that I thought we would win. So I'm going to rub that in his face a bit. But he'll be very happy. Hell yes.
Okay, clear message, Dylan, which can't be denied. Never underestimate the tarot cards.
That's very true. That's very true. I'll tell you what, though, I want to call you out a little bit, because this is back-to-back weeks now where at halftime on stream you've said that you think we're going to lose the game, and I've said I think we're going to win the game, and we have won both. So I'd just like you to admit that I know more about rugby league than you do.
You know more about current rugby league than I do, without a doubt.
That's true.
But your lack of passion for the history of our game going back to 1908 surprises me. But Dylan, surely every generation should be better than the one before. What is the point of having you if you're not better than me?
That's true.
Do you want the Juggeroo clan to go backwards?
Well, and luckily we succeeded in that department, so I think that's a good thing.
Oh, brutal, savage blow. Don't forget, you're still going to be funded by me for another 6 months before you start earning the big bucks.
That's true. That's true.
As a rugby league lawyer. Look.
Well, I mean, I've got $8 in donations on this stream, so that's pretty big bucks.
$8 in donations. Yeah, that's nothing to be sneezed at. Nothing to be sneezed at. Love that second half. What can you say? Love the defence, and I don't just mean the fact that they scored 2 points. We strangled them. We gave them nothing, kept them on their line. That's what defence is, as much as being on your goal line. So 2 really, really good wins. You know, they had a zillion players out, but I loved what we did in the last 20 when I thought we'd be tiring, and we didn't. Against a team at home, big crowd, playing for their season, to beat them, that's really good. We've just got and what I loved is that the appalling error rate in the first half, we turned that round. In
much worse conditions in the second half than in the first half as well.
Yeah, okay, obviously you make more errors in bad conditions, but I don't think that's the determining factor for us. We just seem to have an error game or a not error game. And thankfully today it looked like it was going to be an error game, but we managed to turn around. If we minimise errors, we could do anything. We really could. So wrapped in that second half, I think I still will have a whiskey, even though I cleaned the bathroom yesterday and I think I ingested far too many fumes of exit mold and cleaner and ammonia and all that sort of stuff. It's a good thing I've already had kids.
This is the thing. The Roosters didn't actually win today, but you're just so high off ammonia fumes that you see 24-18 on that scoreboard.
Oh, yeah, this is why I was looking at that picture of you before and thinking, my God, he's handsome.
There you go. It's 1-1. You got me back.
Yeah, I thought, I'm still coughing. So, yes, really good. Wrapped in that. A lot of silly stuff in the first half. Now let's our season should go. Okay, we've got one more Origin-affected game against Para, but then the big boys will play. So we'll maintain top 4.
Yes, by next week then, it's Eels, Storm, Knights, Cowboys, Bulldogs, Panthers, Tigers, Dolphins, Souths. So
yeah, I've looked at
neither here nor there, really. Not easy, not hard.
Not the toughest draw. Nothing like a scary draw. Quick question: has Luke Keary replaced Gordon Tallis on NRL 360?
Not permanently, but I know you would love that.
Oh my God, that would make my day. I'd keep inhaling the ammonia if that's what would cause that to happen.
If you want, you can just every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just watch that one episode that he was on.
Oh, okay, yeah, and with my fading short-term memory, I'll look completely forgotten. Oh, okay, because I get little clips of it, and it always seems to be Luke Keary. So I thought, oh, good, they've got rid of friggin' Mr. Baldo. Anyway, yes, very, very happy with that. It'll make the weekend. I'm off to your auntie's for lunch tomorrow, so that'll make the weekend as well.
Good stuff.
Yes, so enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you back in Sydney.
All right, see ya.
All right.
Hey, that's good. That was a bit less eventful than the first time. I'm over the moon. I've in my personal life, it's funny. I've come off a month of really intense uni study. I very much sort of focused a lot more on content to start the year. Lorenzo, thank you for following again. But I knew towards the back end of the semester, if I locked in uni, I'd be able to get the job done. And I did. The exam period went really well. But then that went straight into hard streaming, into a podcast appearance, into these videos on the AI stuff. And that was very intense. So to get the win here, obviously I'm streaming tomorrow, but I get to relax a little bit more. I'm really looking forward to it. So anyway, we will be back tomorrow. Their first game kicks off at 3 o'clock. It's a really good round of rugby league football. And I think all three games tomorrow have something about them. Dolphins versus Warriors to start us off, I think is the game of the round by far. Really, really big fan of that. Cowboys versus Panthers in the second game up in Townsville. Could be anything. Cowboys have a habit of pulling off upsets up there. We'll see if they can get the job done. I would tip Panthers in that, but could go either way. And then the last one, the Battle of Brookie, Seagulls versus Storm. Storm in brilliant form at the moment. Seagulls coming off a loss to the Bulldogs. Both sides will really have a heap of emphasis on getting that win. Storm in order to make the finals, Seagulls in order to make the top four. So a heap at stake. Obviously, whenever we do three games in a row, it will be intense. But I think it will be particularly intense today. Anyway, normally I play both team songs as we go out, but I played the Bulldogs theme last time at the end of the last stream, so I could play the Roosters one here. So anyway, I will leave it there. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for hanging out, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.